The tourist hub of Queenstown has been hoping for a return to normal. Closing the trans-tasman bubble is the last thing locals want.
Sure, there'll be some jitters and the businesses expect there to be some uncertainty for some time to come, but that's why we're welcoming the Australians with open arms.
But now the news they've been dreading, a new case of COVID-19 in Auckland.
Look, when we opened on both sides, we of course knew that we would continue to have cases connected to our border.
After twice testing negative for the virus, a worker at Auckland Airport showed a positive result yesterday. They'd been cleaning planes arriving from red zone countries, not from Australia, but parts of the world where cases are high. The worker had been vaccinated.
So obviously we've just been informed about today, usual protocols kicking in. So all of the contact tracing is underway and of course making sure we're isolating close contacts.
We have full confidence in New Zealand's system. We've seen them deal with the inevitable outbreaks. And there will be other days when there are cases in Australia.
Jacinda Ardern says the bubble isn't being closed. Good news for those on the slopes of Coronet Peak outside Queenstown, where they're urgently prepping for a bumper ski season.
I just say, look at what we've got, come over, enjoy this place like we love it.
Operators haven't only been just missing the tourists, but also the ski instructors and teachers. These skilled ski staff, typically from the UK and Europe, usually follow winters around the world, only they're now unable to get into New Zealand. Before the pandemic, nearly 5 million tourists would visit Queenstown every year. Business owners like helicopter pilot Louisa Patterson have been surviving under enormous pressure.
We've still got the same costs, the same plant to manage, kept our crew on, so we're just really looking forward to the injection of some Aussie dollars.
Their hopes now are pinned to visitors across the ditch, and they hope they'll still have the confidence to come.
Reporter Josh Bavis joins us now from Queenstown. Josh, evening to you. So this airport worker who tested positive had been vaccinated. What are authorities saying about how much of a concern that is?
Well, Lorna, the New Zealand Prime Minister has tried to put this case in perspective, saying that they didn't have a role where they were working face-to-face with the public and that they were working in an environment that is exposed to COVID, being those international flights that come from overseas countries where there are high numbers of cases. Jacinda Ardern has also added that even though the worker has been vaccinated, these breakthrough infections are still possible, saying that the other reason for vaccines is that they can reduce the severity of the symptoms that patients experience, which has happened in this case.
Are people in New Zealand and the Australians that have travelled there worried about this?
Well, so far the business sector here says that it hopes that the New Zealand government will take a measured approach this time. Nobody wants to see an outbreak though, and health authorities have released a list of locations where this worker attended over the weekend, being a local Bunnings store, a Westfield food court and also an ice cream shop. Australian and New Zealand authorities say that they don't have any plans at this stage to wind back any of this progress that has been made with the trans-Tasman bubble, and they are pointing to the very small period of time in between when the worker tested negative and their recent positive result.
Josh Bavis live for us from Queenstown. Thank you.